What up, guys? So today, this is a Bulwark build without Invigorating Icon. I definitely wanted to run it because I just wanted to see if the cooldown changed at all, or yeah, I really wanted to see exactly what it looked like. Now, I'm using a lot of damage reduction perks here, and I have Rapid Regeneration. We will be trying out that perk. Glory Shield's also really good because it increases your banner, so it's kind of interesting. Inspiration is good and increases the damage my teammates do when they are in the banner, which is nice, because this banner does not heal. The only thing this banner heals is armor, and a lot of armor within the time banner is up. So essentially, I'm dropping my banner to help my teammates kill things and stay in the fight. Invigorating Icon obviously is very strong. We're still kind of trying to figure out what is going on with the cooldown with it. If they didn't apply the cooldown to the Invigorating Icon nerf, you know, if technically Invigorating Icon wasn't nerfed, it's kind of hard not to suggest using it. That said, Glory Shield is actually pretty good with what I'm doing with this build. That was a lot of parries. That was a lot of parries. But still, you don't really need Invigorating Icon unless you kind of need to heal your teammates. And the two teammates I have here are very good. It is a Vanguard and a Tactical, so they are covering up all the damage capabilities that we need from range. Yeah, here I'm dropping the banner because of that Zoanthrope. I was a tad bit worried about it. I wanted to make sure me and my teammates had enough armor for this encounter. And you gotta keep in mind, being in the banner is also giving me extra damage. And the newly buffed Rapid Regeneration, I actually found out, I found it to be very, very good. It's kind of interesting because, you know, it used to make banner last for 4 seconds. Now it makes banner last for 10, I believe, which is still, like, pretty much a full banner, especially if you consider Glory Shield. Which, it's kind of a confusing... It's kind of a confusing buff. I think they legit could just get away with saying, hey, Rapid Regeneration makes your armor go up faster and not even touch the amount the banner will be, you know, basically the banner will be up. However, yeah, the Vanguard leaves. I forgot about that. That's not the Vanguard we actually beat the operation with, I guess. I noticed, you know, Absolute Tyranid missions start out very sweaty. They just throw so many Tyranids at you the entire time. You never get a moment in these Absolute Tyranid operations where it's like, oh, okay, let's hang out. Unless it's like one of those checkpoints, I guess. There's never really a time you should just hang out in an operation anyway. But yeah, you'll notice like there's not a lot of downtime at all. It's just all the Tyranids all the time. Oh, here we go. Now, yes, we have Inner Fire. And Inner Fire is nice. I'm also helping out my teammates with taking less damage from, you know, Terminus and Extremis. So I do think the banner was useful. However, it's definitely not cleaning up any mistakes. The fact that I don't have Invigorating Icon kind of leaves the banner in a sense where it's like, it's basically an armor grenade with Rapid Regeneration, and the grenade part is the fact that it increases the damage my teammates are doing. And I am using the Power Sword. The Power Sword is very fun with the speed mode. It's probably been one of my favorite melee weapons. That said, I still think Power Sword could use a small buff. I'm just not 100% sure what type of buff it could honestly get the most use out of. Probably just a little bit more damage, I guess. Yeah, see, here's the issue with not using Invigorating Icon. When I'm taking damage, that damage is practically permanent unless I find a stim. And in Absolute, I generally don't recommend not using Invigorating Icon, especially if the nerf hasn't went through. I don't know what to expect with this perk at the moment. If it was something that we, you know, if it was something that we needed to be nerfed, then that's one thing. But I think Absolute is actually kind of, you know, matching up with the strongest perks that we have in the game at the moment. It's really weird. We really are at the you know, at the mercy of the AI director sometimes, because there are some absolute runs I'm getting where it's just like, what is going on? Now, in this operation, we have a few moments like that. I have one moment recently where we were in a hallway and it was covered in Majorus, absolutely covered in Majorus, and it was a blast. It was super fun. But still here, I will consider this being a tad bit risky, just being a little bit risky with not using Invigorating Icon. And I don't even have Intimidating Aura, or I don't think I'm using, you know, Purpose of Purity, or whatever the perk is that deals the area of effect damage using the banner. The only damage I'm getting out of this banner is if it's here and, you know, you're in the aura of the banner and you shoot things. Now, yes, this is one of those fights, by the way. There was a zone throw shooting at us. We had a teammate go down, which is rough. Enraged Major. I'm at like 1, but I have so much damage reduction that I'm able to just kind of hang out around here, which is kind of crazy to think about. Bulwark is super good right now. And this would be, what, I guess this is my second Bulwark build after the patch. I'm going to do my best to pretty much find as many unique ways to build your characters as I can. This one, the unique properties of this build is essentially just a large amount of damage reduction and rapid regeneration. Also, yeah, if you guys have been paying attention to the cooldown, I really don't think the Invigorating Icon, nerf went through. So I'm going to have to just say, be a little cautious using this perk and getting attached to it at the moment, because I thought throughout this operation my cooldown was a little faster, and I just realized it's because of Inner Fire. Inner Fire is making my cooldown a little bit faster. Inner Fire is still very good. See, Inner Fire has been nerfed as well, in a sense. Basically, the only times I ever really even paid attention to Inner Fire was when I was executing majors anyway. But now Inner Fire only gives you cooldown reduction when you are executing majors. And now, with the Invigorating Icon nerf considered, I do think rapid regeneration has its spot in the banner meta, I guess you would call it. As in, like, a very strong banner. If you want to risk the 4-minute cooldown, is that really what it is? A 4-minute cooldown for banner would be the case if Invigorating Icon ends up getting its nerf. I do think you can make a case. Yeah, here, this banner right here, I was a little worried. I had low health. I just wanted to take these majors out before we saw an extremist or anything. So I dropped the banner, a little extra damage. Let's just kill these guys, please. And I'm picking up a stim here, which is kind of an odd thing for a Bulwark to do. The stim economy in Absolute is kind of odd. I just want to put this note. If you are at low health, normally the next box you will crack open, like those boxes that you can roll into and smash and get items out of. Normally, the next box you would open would have a stim or at least a armor boost. Same goes for if you have low ammo. If you go into a box, there should be either an ammo box or a grenade. Normally, it's like pretty much what you need. Now, right now, we have a Melta for the, I believe that's the tactical there. This tactical was getting a lot of damage with the Melta. This is a really good Melta map, I gotta say. But yeah, I just wanted to make that note about the stims, just in case you are, you know, going through Absolute and not finding any stims. That's very possible. We are getting less stims in Absolute, so I do think there's a discussion to be had about the difficulty, basically the absolute difficulty stim economy. That said, I mean, I've seen a lot of grenades. They shower us in grenades, which is nice. Now that's a Bullwark. I basically dropped this banner just so we can get rid of the rest of the enemies here. But then I turn around and there's Spore Mine spawning in and a whole other mob. So I will say, with rapid regeneration and this banner specifically, it's definitely better used in a giant fight when, you know, things are getting a little bit sketchy. I've had one moment where that was the case with this banner, and you guys can keep an eye on the armor going up. It's very nice to have a lot of armor in a, you know, pretty much in a sweaty fight. A lot of armor, very fast, and you also have a lot of damage reduction. I am using the team perk that gives me damage reduction from Extremis and Terminus, which includes the Biovore, which includes, you know, Zone Throws. I actually think that perk is pretty good. Now, I have been using the armor team perk for Bulwark quite a bit, and I've actually really enjoyed it. Just the thought that, you know, my teammates could be away from me and still get some sort of support from my kit, it actually, I think it goes a long way. I mean, just consider, hey, if you have a good assault on your team, just consider like every 40 seconds he's going to get an armor, and then you kind of help the assault, you know, with its survivability. But here I definitely wanted to take as many damage reduction perks as I could find. Now, I'm just throwing a grenade there for no reason, basically. One of the better ways to get rid of a group of Minorists as well has been the parries and Power Whirl. I've just been spamming that a lot recently. Boom, get rid of that major. Now things are getting a tad bit sweaty. I just want to make sure we win this fight. I drop the banner, getting extra damage from my teammate, and we're also getting a lot of extra armor. So basically, my banner isn't healing their health, it is healing their armor and also giving them a damage boost. And we also have a fair amount of damage reduction. And we were able to get this operation done. Inferno is very fun. Inferno is probably the operation I would jump in if you wanted to basically test Absolute. Every other operation's absolutely just way harder. At least that's how I feel. That said, Biovores, you know, can still spawn a lot of spore mines, and that can be an issue. But yeah, I had a really nice team there. As you see, the tactical cracked 20k. I thought tactical was bad. Whatever. They probably just had a really good kit. Good team.